Ladies and gentlemen, goals are dreams with deadlines, but dreams alone don't build a life. Between where you are and where you want to be stands a single bridge: discipline. Without it, goals remain hopes floating in the clouds. With it, dreams become accomplishments, and accomplishments become legacies. A goal sets the stage. It paints the picture of where you want to go. But it is discipline that draws the map and lays down the road for you to travel. Having a dream is not enough, because a dream without structure fades into the background of life. It excites you for a moment, but then reality steps in with distractions, excuses, and delays. That is where discipline comes in. It takes the dream and anchors it to daily actions. Think of a farmer who dreams of a harvest. The vision of fields filled with golden grain may inspire him, but unless he plows, sows, waters, and tends, the harvest will never come. The dream provides direction, but discipline provides the path that makes it possible. Discipline is what transforms vague desires into concrete steps. It forces you to rise earlier, stay focused longer, and say no to what doesn't serve your future. Without discipline, goals remain suspended in imagination. With discipline, every day becomes a building block toward accomplishment. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't demand perfection, only persistence. You don't need to leap from where you are to where you want to be in one motion. All you need is the willingness to take one small step, again and again, until the gap between your goal and your reality closes. The truth is, many people know what they want. They want health, they want wealth, they want happiness, they want success. But wanting is easy, and direction without a path leads to frustration. It's like standing at the foot of a mountain and staring at the peak. You can imagine the view, but unless you take the climb, you will never experience it. Discipline says, take the first step, then the next. Over time, those steps carve a trail that leads directly to the summit. So, goals light the way, but discipline moves the feet. Without one, you wander aimlessly. Without the other, you stand still. Together, they create progress, purpose, and ultimately accomplishment. If you can commit to discipline, even in small amounts, you will never be stuck at the starting line. You will always be on the path toward the life you envisioned. Motivation is a powerful spark, but sparks fade quickly if not fed. It can ignite passion in a moment, inspire bold declarations, and even make you feel unstoppable for a short while. But the truth is, motivation is fleeting. It is like the excitement of a New Year's resolution. The gym is full in January, yet by February it is nearly empty. Why? Because motivation got people started, but discipline is what keeps people going. Motivation opens the door, but discipline walks through it every single day, whether the weather is good or bad, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It reminds you of what you said you wanted. Feelings are temporary, and they shift like the wind. One day you feel inspired, the next you feel tired. And if you let feelings lead, you will never stay on course long enough to reach your goals. Discipline is steady. It says, do it anyway. It shows up when motivation has disappeared. It builds habits so strong that eventually action becomes automatic, no longer dependent on emotional highs. That is the secret of sustained achievement. It's not built on bursts of motivation, but on the daily grind of disciplined effort. Think about an athlete training for competition. The cheers of the crowd and the dream of victory may motivate them for a time, but it's the discipline of early mornings, strict diets, and relentless practice that shapes champions. Or think of a writer. Inspiration may strike occasionally, but the books that change the world are written because of daily discipline at the desk, not just bursts of creative excitement. Motivation is wonderful. It gives life energy and excitement. But without discipline, it is like a car with no fuel. You may admire it, sit in it, and imagine the journey, but it will not take you anywhere. Discipline fills the tank and drives the wheels. It is what keeps you consistent long after the initial spark has faded. So yes, let motivation inspire you. Let it give you energy, but do not depend on it. Anchor yourself in discipline, because that is what ensures you finish the race you started. Discipline sustains what motivation begins. And it is that consistency which separates dreamers from achievers. Success is rarely the result of one grand action. It is the product of small, disciplined choices made over time. Every little decision you make, every habit you practice, compounds into results far greater than the effort of any single day. The beauty of discipline lies in its compounding effect. Just as money invested wisely grows through the power of compounding interest, so too do small disciplines accumulate and create extraordinary outcomes. One push-up may not change your health, but 100 days of push-ups will transform your body. One page of reading may not expand your mind, but 100 books read over time will change your thinking forever. The challenge is that small disciplines don't always reveal their rewards immediately. At first, progress is invisible. It feels like the effort is too small to matter. Skipping one workout doesn't make you unhealthy, and eating one healthy meal doesn't make you fit. That's why so many people quit early. They don't see instant results. But discipline is not about instant gratification. It's about long-term transformation. The compounding effect only works when you are consistent. A drop of water may seem powerless, but a steady drip over time can carve stone. That's the hidden power of small disciplines. The danger is equally true in reverse. Small neglects compound just as much as small disciplines. Missing one day of effort might not matter, but missing 100 days surely does. Spending a little more than you earn today may not hurt, but doing so for years leads to debt and struggle. Success and failure are both built quietly, day by day, through what you choose to do and what you choose to ignore. So never underestimate the power of small daily acts. Writing a page, saving $1, practicing a skill, making a call. These may seem insignificant in the moment, but together they form the bricks of accomplishment. Discipline turns the ordinary into the extraordinary by multiplying small efforts into massive results. Over time, these little victories stack up to create momentum, and momentum carries you further than motivation alone ever could. If you want big victories, start with small disciplines. Be faithful in the little things, and the bigger things will eventually take care of themselves. Wishing is easy. Anyone can wish for a better life, greater success, improved health, or financial freedom. But wishing alone changes nothing. It's like throwing a coin into a fountain. Momentarily exciting, but powerless to create real change. Discipline is what separates those who only dream from those who actually achieve. It takes the energy of wishing and channels it into consistent action. You can wish for a stronger body, but unless you discipline yourself to exercise and eat wisely, the wish will remain only a hope. You can wish for financial independence, but unless you discipline yourself to save, invest, and avoid careless spending, the dream will never materialize. The difference between wishing and achieving lies in responsibility. Wishing shifts the power outside of you, waiting for luck, chance, or circumstances to change. Discipline brings the power back into your hands. It says, I may not control everything, but I control my actions today, and my actions will shape tomorrow. That mindset transforms a passive dreamer into an active achiever. Discipline is the bridge that takes you from talking about what you want to actually experiencing it. What makes discipline powerful is that it doesn't demand dramatic leaps. It requires simple, consistent effort. Anyone can wish to write a book, but the one who sits down to write a single page a day eventually has a manuscript in their hands. Anyone can wish to run a marathon, but the one who runs a mile consistently builds the strength to cross the finish line. Wishing without discipline leads to regret, while discipline, even in small doses, eventually leads to accomplishment. And here's the truth: life will always test your commitment. There will be distractions, setbacks, and the temptation to settle for wishing. That's when discipline proves its worth. It reminds you that your future is not built on occasional bursts of desire, but on daily decisions. You can either keep tossing coins into fountains or start laying bricks on the path to your goal. So let wishing inspire you, but let discipline guide you. Because wishing shows you what's possible, while discipline ensures it becomes reality. That is the difference between a dreamer and a doer, between a life of regret and a life of achievement. Many people misunderstand discipline. They see it as restriction, as if discipline chains you down and robs you of enjoyment. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline creates freedom. When you discipline yourself today, you free yourself tomorrow. Think of financial discipline. The person who saves, invests, and lives within their means may feel limited in the short term, but in time, they enjoy the freedom to travel, to give, to live without debt or fear. On the other hand, the one who spends recklessly may feel free in the moment, but later becomes a prisoner to bills, stress, and regret. Discipline feels like sacrifice now, but it is freedom later. The same is true with health. It may feel restrictive to wake up early, exercise, or avoid unhealthy habits, but discipline in health leads to energy, strength, and longevity. What seems like a limitation becomes the very thing that gives you the freedom to live fully, to work hard, to play with your children, to pursue your dreams without being held back by weakness or disease. The absence of discipline may feel easy, but it locks you into a future of limitations you did not choose. Discipline gives you freedom because it allows you to stay in control. Without it, life begins to control you. Emotions control you, cravings control you, circumstances control you. But when you practice discipline, you rise above impulses and make decisions based on purpose, not just on feelings. That is the highest form of freedom, living by choice, not by chance. It's important to understand that discipline is not punishment. It is preparation. It prepares you for opportunities. It equips you for challenges. And it ensures that when life presents you with doors to walk through, you are strong enough and ready enough to step inside. Every act of discipline is like putting money in a savings account. It compounds over time, building a wealth of freedom that others envy, but only you will enjoy. So whenever you feel that discipline is costing you something, remember what it is buying you. It is buying freedom from regret, freedom from mediocrity, and freedom to live life on your terms. Discipline is not a prison. It is the passport to a life of true liberty. There are two kinds of pain in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline is not always comfortable. It asks you to wake up earlier than you want, to push yourself when you would rather rest, to delay pleasures for the sake of progress. It is the pain of effort, of saying no when everyone else says yes, of choosing the harder path in the moment. But here's the secret. While the pain of discipline is temporary, the pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Regret is heavier, sharper, and far more difficult to carry. Discipline may demand effort today, but it rewards you tomorrow. Regret spares you effort today, but it punishes you tomorrow with disappointment. Think of the student who chooses discipline over ease. Hours of study, sacrifice of leisure, the discomfort of focus. All of it may feel painful in the moment. But on the day of graduation, the pain of discipline turns into pride, opportunity, and a future wide with possibilities. Contrast that with the student who avoided discipline, who chose distraction over study. The moment may have felt easy, but later comes the regret of missed chances and limited options. The same truth applies to health. Exercise, diet, rest. These may feel inconvenient and painful, but they lead to strength, vitality, and freedom from illness. Neglect may feel easy, but regret comes in the form of sickness, weakness, and lost years. The beauty of discipline's pain is that it is an investment. It is never wasted. Every sacrifice you make builds resilience, character, and progress. The pain of regret, however, gives you nothing in return. It drains your energy and haunts your mind with, if only, and I wish I had. You cannot go back and change what you neglected, but you can endure the momentary discomfort of discipline and create a future you are proud of. So the choice is simple, but profoundly: suffer now with discipline or suffer later with regret. One pain makes you stronger, the other makes you weaker. One pain builds, the other destroys. The wise embrace the short-term discomfort of discipline, so they never have to taste the bitterness of regret. And when you look back, you will see that every moment of discipline was not a burden, but a gift you gave your future self. Your destiny is not determined by what you occasionally do, but by what you consistently practice. Habits are the architects of the future, and discipline is the builder that shapes them. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are designing your life through small, repeated actions. The challenge is that habits can work for you or against you. Good habits born from discipline push you toward growth, success, and fulfillment. Bad habits born from neglect drag you toward mediocrity, regret, and wasted potential. The direction of your life is hidden in the daily patterns you choose to follow. Discipline is what aligns those patterns with your desired destiny. You cannot expect greatness if your daily habits contradict your goals. If you seek health but constantly neglect exercise, your habits are not serving your future. If you want wealth but live without financial discipline, your destiny will not align with your dreams. Discipline forces you to examine your habits and adjust them until they reflect the life you truly want. It is like a compass, always pointing you back to the right direction when distractions try to pull you off course. The truth is, habits often feel small and unimportant in the moment. Waking up early, reading a chapter, saving a little money, or practicing a skill for a short time may seem insignificant. But over months and years, these choices accumulate into powerful results. Discipline ensures you don't underestimate the value of consistency. It reminds you that destiny is not shaped by a single event, but by the steady march of repeated effort. And here is the liberating part. Discipline allows you to take control of your story. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the author of your future. By choosing the right habits today, you are writing the chapters of tomorrow's success. Without discipline, you leave your future to chance. With discipline, you design it intentionally. So understand this, your destiny is not waiting for you at some distant place. It is being built right now in the small acts you perform daily. Discipline is the force that ensures your habits are in harmony with your highest aspirations. And in that harmony lies the path to the future you desire. Consistency is often praised, but consistency without discipline is fragile. Anyone can repeat an action for a few days or weeks, but only discipline transforms those repeated efforts into lasting excellence. Excellence is not achieved in a single burst of effort. It is carved into a person through steady, intentional practice. Think of a musician. Playing an instrument once in a while will never lead to mastery. But through disciplined practice, day after day, the notes become smoother, the songs become richer, and the skill grows into something extraordinary. Discipline makes consistency purposeful, and that purpose leads to excellence. The truth is, life rewards those who can stay the course. It's not about working hard just when it's convenient or when you feel inspired. It's about showing up even when the excitement fades. Discipline trains you to keep moving forward in those dull, ordinary moments that most people abandon. And it is precisely in those quiet stretches of consistency that greatness is built. The athlete who trains long after the crowd is gone, the student who studies when others sleep, the leader who keeps learning while others relax. These are the ones discipline transforms into examples of excellence. Discipline also protects consistency from becoming complacency. It's not just about doing something regularly. It's about doing it with focus and intention. Without discipline, you can repeat actions without improvement, going through the motions without ever growing. Discipline sharpens your effort, making sure each repetition adds value, each habit builds strength, and each day contributes to progress. Over time, this disciplined consistency becomes your identity. You are no longer someone who trees to achieve. You become someone who embodies excellence in thought, in action, and in results. People often look at excellence as a gift, as if some are born with it. But in truth, excellence is built brick by brick, habit by habit, through the unwavering commitment of discipline. So if you desire excellence, do not chase perfection in a single moment. Instead, commit yourself to discipline in every moment. Be consistent, yes, but let your consistency be driven by discipline. Because when discipline fuels your habits, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and consistency is elevated into lasting greatness. Every meaningful accomplishment in life requires some form of sacrifice, And discipline is the price you pay for the rewards you seek. It demands that you give up certain comforts, certain distractions, and even certain pleasures in the present so you can enjoy a richer future. This is where many people falter. They want the reward without the sacrifice, the harvest without the planting, the result without the effort. But life does not work that way. Discipline reminds us that everything worthwhile carries a cost, and those willing to pay it are the ones who eventually reap the benefits. Think of financial success. Discipline may require you to live below your means, to say no to unnecessary luxuries, to save and invest when others are spending. In the moment, it feels like sacrifice, but the reward is long-term freedom, peace of mind, and opportunities that money can buy. Or consider physical health. Discipline asks you to resist unhealthy habits, to move your body even when it feels difficult, and to choose nourishing foods over indulgent ones. The sacrifice is immediate, but the reward is vitality, energy, and years added to your life. Discipline also demands sacrifices of time and focus. While others waste hours in distractions, the disciplined person invests those same hours in building skills, studying, or creating. To the undisciplined, this looks like loss, but to the disciplined, it is investment. And like all wise investments, it pays dividends far greater than the initial cost. The key is to remember that discipline never takes without giving more in return. It may ask you to surrender comfort today, but it replaces that comfort with confidence tomorrow. It may require you to give up leisure now, but it rewards you with achievement later. Sacrifice is never the end of the story. It is only the beginning of a greater reward. The choice always rests with you. Accept the small sacrifices of discipline now, or face the heavier sacrifices of regret later. The undisciplined give up their future for temporary ease, while the disciplined give up ease for a future of fulfillment. And when the rewards arrive, they always prove that every sacrifice was worth it. The bridge between your goals and your accomplishments is not something you cross once and leave behind. It is a bridge you must cross every single day. Discipline is not a one-time act. It is a daily choice, a repeated decision to honor your commitments, even when the mood has passed or the excitement has faded. Every morning you wake up, discipline presents you with a question. Will you move closer to your goals? Or will you stand still and let another day slip away? The answer is not written in your intentions, but in your actions. Too often, people think of discipline as something heroic, reserved for rare moments of strength. But in reality, discipline is built in the ordinary, in the way you handle small tasks, small decisions, and small opportunities. It is in choosing to focus when it would be easier to procrastinate, in doing the work when no one is watching, in following through on promises you made to yourself. Each of these moments is a step across the bridge, and those steps add up to a journey of accomplishment. The truth is, no one drifts into success. You cannot hope your way across the bridge. You cannot daydream your way into achievement. The only way across is through deliberate, consistent action, guided by discipline. Some days the crossing will feel smooth, other days it will feel heavy, but each step forward counts. And when you look back, you'll realize that progress was not made by a single giant leap, but by thousands of steady footsteps. Discipline also guards against the temptation to turn back. On the journey toward your goals, there will be distractions and setbacks. You may feel the pull to quit, to delay, or to settle for less than what you truly want. Discipline keeps you moving forward, reminding you that the reward on the other side of the bridge is far greater than the comfort of standing still. So understand this. Every day is another crossing. Every choice is another step. And each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you envision. Discipline is not the occasional spark of effort. It is the daily crossing that turns goals into accomplishments and dreams into reality. So my friends, remember this. Goals give you direction, but discipline delivers the destination. Build your bridge with daily effort. Cross it with courage. And on the other side, you will find the life you dreamed of.